Well, that was an interview with the Liberian president, Salif Allen Johnson, during a visit to the Imo State in southeast Nigeria. During this visit, the executive governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha, played host in a predictable but controversial pattern. A statue was unveiled in honor of the Liberian president, Salif Allen Johnson. But against the backdrop of a statue erected in honor of the South African president, Jacob Zuma, an instant protest was held in South Africa against Zuma, which was centered on alleged corruption. Back home in Nigeria, the social media was awash with heavy criticisms against the statute, widely believed to cost a fortune, a tune of 520 million naira, in the face of allegations of the Imo State government's non-payment of pension arrears and workers' salary. Channels TV also caught up with the Imo State Governor, Rochas Okorocha. Join us in this interview.
It has been my dream to change Imo State for better, and it's coming up fine. It's coming up fine. On assumption of office, I said, what can I do really to move this state back to where it should be ordinarily, or move it up to where it should be? And some of the things we did was involved in some revolutionary programs like the urban renewal to change the face of the city so that people can come in and invest and do business. And for us to tell our story locally and internationally. And to create tourism as the bedrock for our development, because Owerri naturally is a tourist city. Secondly, it has a lot of something to do with my Rochas Foundation, because at my 55 years of age, I decided that I should extend this Rochas Foundation to the entire Africa, for African integration. And before then, I had Rochas Foundation in Nigeria with over 15,000 children in many schools scattered all over the country. But what really brought this presidency here was, first of all, the issue of the foundation, because most of these African children were here. Most of their children from the African countries are here. And because of the understanding and partnership I reached with those presidents, they wanted to come and see for themselves what is happening at Rochas Foundation. But the economic benefit is huge. This is a state that wants to grow, and a federating unit of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Now, we'll come back to your policy, but
okay.
Now let's look at what is current. There's a widespread perception that you've developed a penchant for erecting statues, and there seems to be a controversy here. Some people believe that you've spent a huge fortune erecting these statues in the face of widespread economic challenges in your own state. How much is this statue? Because people are saying that it's over 500 million naira. I'm sure you heard that.
If I have my way, I choose not to speak on the amount of the amount spent to erect those statues. But let me address the question first. Now we have a center which is called the Ikemba Ojukwu Center. And Ikemba Ojukwu is known to be one of the foremost leaders of this part of the world. And we wanted to create a tourism out of that place and tell our story of leadership. I personally believe that if you don't have the spirit of sacrifice, you have no business with leadership. So we chose leaders that have distinguished themselves in both conduct and character to be so honored. Now we create what's called Hall of Fame. You see, the story that people are taking this out of context without understanding that. Now, we create a Hall of Fame, we create a history house, we create a place where children can come and study. Tourism will commence from there, and we send it to honor leaders, African leaders who have distinguished themselves. And every leader we have honored has a story, which may be unknown to most of the people who speak out of ignorance because they do not know. But again, to have a head of state, the president of a country, visit a state, is something to be applauded. Because the cost is theirs to start with. The cost is theirs. I mean, it took, when President Zuma came here, we know we received over 8-something people advanced him here, who came here. And the president himself came. So I don't understand why people would think there's anything wrong with it. But let me talk
If
about the
I
private
recall,
status.
if I recall, your
Let me talk about the
your
status.
love for the talk about the
Yes,
status.
you talk about the status. You talked about the price of the status for 520 million naira for Rochas. Those who know Rochas or Okorocha will tell you it's not true. Nothing even imaginable to that. But it would be wrong for me to start announcing the price of the value of the statue.
Why would it be wrong? Why would it be wrong telling your people the cost of the statue?
No, if you demand, if they demand to know, I'll tell them. But it
your people have been demanding.
No.
Said you've not been able to pay pensioners' salary and you've spent a fortune.
I'll come to pension. Now don't come. Let me get you right, okay? No one has asked me. If anyone has asked me in writing or come to me as a student and say, how much do I spend? I'll tell you how much is spent.
Okay, how much
but
is
for me
spent?
to tell them and it has cost 1 kobo and put no value to that, of that statue, will be something I wouldn't want. In fact, I'm happy that they say they should say it's 1 billion naira, I'll be happy. So the person who has that statue will feel that something good has been done for him. What if I tell them that it's less than 2 million naira to build such statue? How do the person will feel? It will look cheap.
Don't you feel the way you've handled the communication aspect of this statute is responsible for this widespread
That's
controversy?
not. I said nothing about it.
Don't you think this is needless if you just tell them straight the cost of the statue?
I don't want them until somebody asks.
How much is the statue?
No, they should ask me.
I'm representing the people.
Yes.
How much is the statue?
No, but if the people that I govern ask me how much is that, I'll tell them.
You
doesn't
find
mean
it difficult to tell your people how much is the statue?
Yeah, because you know why? You know why I find it difficult to tell you in person? Because you, the same person, I will go back and say, hey, it was such a cheap statue. So is it what I'm talking about? My statue is not cheap. It's expensive. Okay. So because the people so honored are this. But let me take you again back on the issue of pension and salaries. It's not true. This is a fabricated fallacy which does not reflect any practical realities. Let any worker of Imo State, alive or dead, stand up to say, we have not paid salary. We have paid salaries up to debt, and we owe no worker any salary.
But the issue of pensioners, people have accused you of paying them in dreadful beats.
It's not true. As I speak to you now, we have concluded payment of pension for the ones that have been verified. The issue in Imo State is the issue of verification. We had what is called pension scam, a very bad one here, that led us to the loss of almost 800 million naira monthly. That's the issue I've been trying to address. And the pensioners themselves are not even helping the matter with their committees.
But we have reports that you have issues with the health sector.
Let me put it
some people within the health sector.
Let me put it through. We're just
the
jumping
medical
that
unions.
fast. Let me come to that. Talk about pension first. We'll take it one after the other so that the public can understand. That is not true. What we had was an issue of verification of the pension issue. And the ones who have been verified have all been paid.
The statue on the president of South Africa is attracting a lot of controversy. Let's say that you have erected a statue of someone who is facing over 700 charges in South Africa, and one of this is bordering on corruption.
So, does that make sense to them? Even you listen to that, does that make sense?
No, but why?
That sounds like a cheap talk. Because you don't consider somebody a criminal until he's found wanting by a court of competent jurisdiction. Show me where he has been confirmed. Allegation is not a confirmation of guilt.
But this is the president of a country in which Nigerians in his own country are facing xenophobia attacks.
Yes. So what's the best way to make peace? Since you heard about this statue now, the president said no Nigeria should kill in South Africa, no South Africa should kill Nigeria. Had that statement been made by him anywhere else? On the 18th of this month, I'm going back to South Africa on his invitation to address Nigerians and South Africans there. Now, this is the right way to do. Now, by those of them who I consider social media noise makers, those who make noise, of what noise had that impacted on the decision of South Africans from killing Nigerians? But this single movement I made that brought the man here has created peace in that land.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Imo State, Governor Rochas Okorocha, thank you for making our time to be part of this episode of Question Time. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Munya.
And that's it on this episode of Question Time. What's your take on the statutes being erected by the Imo State government? Send us a comment on our social media platforms. Join us next week for a fresh episode of the program. Many thanks for watching. I'm Benga Ashiru. Bye for now.